Hello and a very warm welcome. Now we've got a different video today. All 20 drivers on the F1 grid. I'm going to give my opinion whether I think they can be world champion or not. And this is my honest opinion. We're going to cover every driver. Obviously, we've already got some world champions that Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen are world champions already. So obviously, but we're going to cover every single driver. And I'm going to give my opinion of today's grid, whether they're good enough to win a world championship, an F1 title or not. So, all 20 drivers, I'm going to say whether I think they can be world champion or not. And we've got a lot of no's and a couple of yeses. There's some special talent on the F1 grid. We are nearly back to racing in Austria on the 3rd of July. But there is some special talent on this F1 grid. I mean, look at the young blood coming through. You got the old veterans like Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen. But you got the young blood like Max, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Sainz, Albon. But yeah, let's get into it. So, we're going to start with the obvious ones. Lewis Hamilton is a 6-time champion. Arguably the best of his era. Kimi Raikkonen, 2007 world champion, still going strong at Alfa Romeo and still does a solid job. Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time champion, who I fully believe is going to retire from the sport. Now, these are the champions that I think. Max, now he is number 1 on my list. This guy is a special talent. He comes into the sport at 17 years of age. Ran the outside of Felipe Nasr, wins his first race for Red Bull. 2016 Brazil, passes the whole field, pulls off one of the best saves I've ever seen. Max is a special talent, and out of all the drivers, he will win the most world championships. Yes, he's hot-headed at times, but if he can pull that in and rein it in, he could really have 5, 6, 7 titles easily. Unbelievable talent. Charles Leclerc, he will win an F1 World Championship in my opinion. I mean, it's so exciting for F1. The young blood in the sport. George Russell, he's another one. I fully believe he'll be a world champion in Formula 1. GP2 champion. Surely he has to be given his chance. Yeah, he has to be given his chance at Mercedes in my opinion. Get him in the team. I mean, Russell, fantastic driver in my opinion. Took Kubica to school. He'll take Latifi to school. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Sainz has got his chance. Leclerc's got his chance. Where's the chance for George Russell? But he will be a world champion in Formula 1. Mark my words. Just gonna... Got itchy nose. Had to itch that off camera. So, Lando Norris. He's another special talent. I fully believe. It all depends on the rule changes. And now, I was a bit on the fence with Ricciardo and Norris and Sainz. Because it depends on the rule changes. I fully believe another team will dominate after the rule changes come in. Because every time rule changes come in, we see another team dominate. I'll be very surprised if Mercedes continue. And who knows, McLaren go into Mercedes engines. Maybe they can dominate the sport. And then obviously it's going to be between Norris and Ricciardo. But yeah, Norris, special talent, young, hungry, got age on his side. I fully believe he could be a champion. Daniel Ricciardo, also, proven race winner. Been at the front, pole positions, never had the chance to fight for a title. Who knows with the rule changes? If McLaren can get their act together, it could be. You just don't know. The rule changes are special. So, right, we're going to go on to the no's. And I've got to say, I fully rate Carlos Sainz. But, this is painful. I was a bit in the middle. Yes, will he be a world champion? No. Carlos Sainz, it pains me to say it, but I don't think he's going to be an F1 world champion. The good thing is he's got age on his side, but this hurts me because he was my driver of the season last season. Fully deserves his promotion to Ferrari, but I do think Leclerc, given the chance, them two going for a world championship, I think Leclerc will get the job done over him. But that was a painful one to say no to Carlos Sainz. Esteban Ocon will not be world champion. Very good, solid driver, Esteban Ocon, but he's at Renault. Who knows? Renault could dominate after the rule changes, but this is just my opinion. I've got a couple written down for champions, no champions. Alexander Albon has Max as his teammate. I just don't see how he can be champion. Because Max is his teammate. Max is going to beat him every day of the week. Max is a better driver than Alexander Albon. Alexander Albon is a good, solid driver, but we're yet to see what he can produce. He's got the chance for a podium and race wins in the Red Bull. Valtteri Bottas will not be a world champion. Unpopular opinion, but that is how I feel. For me, he's very lucky to still be in that Mercedes seat, to be honest. He was very good at Williams, deserved his chance at a top team, but I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. He doesn't push Lewis Hamilton, never really got close to the championship since he's been in the Mercedes. And yeah, for me, like I've always said, someone could do a better job than Bottas does in that Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas is a good driver, deserves to be on the grid, but he's not an elite level driver, in my opinion, and that's how I feel. Sergio Perez will not, all these I'm covering now will not be world champions. Perez, he had his chance in the McLaren, but he's just going to be one of them drivers that never gets another chance in the top team. He's one of the best tyre savers in F1. Podiums in mid-table cars. But he's never going to get that chance in a top team again, which is a shame because he's a very good driver. Giovinazzi, not for me. I just don't see him world champion. Latifi, again, he's unknown, so I've put no for now. We don't know what he can produce. Who knows? Maybe he comes in and beats George Russell. And then that's a huge mark in his career. Romain Grosjean won't be world champion. I mean, he's been in F1 a very long time now, Grosjean, but for me, he's lucky to still be on the grid. How he's still on the grid, I have no idea. When you've got the likes of Hulkenberg and Alonso sat on the sidelines, and Grosjean's still got a seat, baffling. Danny Kvyat won't be world champion. He's been kicked in the bollocks many times. Podium at Hockenheim. Dropped, hired. I just don't see it. He's a solid driver, but I think his time in the top team, he's already had his chance. And obviously they dropped him for Max. Gasly, again, another one kicked in the bollocks numerous times. I don't see him being world champion. Lance Stroll, I mean, another one, exactly like Grosjean. How is Lance Stroll on the grid? I have no idea. We all know why he's on the grid, because of Daddy's cash, but I mean, just unbelievable. He's so poor in qualifying as well, Lance Stroll. Like, in dry qualifying, awful. He's good in wet qualifying, but his strongest asset is his race pace, Lance Stroll. But qualifying, he seriously needs to work on that. No chance Lance Stroll is going to be world champion. Just not good enough for a world champion. And Kevin Magnussen, a bit like Sergio Perez, had that one season at McLaren. I just don't see him getting a chance in the top team again. So for me, Magnussen will not be champion. So let's make sure we've covered everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. So we've got champions. Max, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Ricciardo, and the rest I just don't think. This is just a bit of a different video. My opinion. Have I named someone there on no champions that you think will be a world champion? There may be some controversial ones in the no champions. Carlos Sainz. That pained me to say that he won't be world champion. But like I say, I think Leclerc will get the job done if them two went for a title. He's consistent, Carlos Sainz. Really do rate him, but that was a painful one. And many people rate Valtteri Bottas. I do not. I just don't. I mean, he's a good, solid driver, but he's not an elite level driver. He does not push Lewis Hamilton. Rosberg was better than Bottas. Rosberg pushed him. It's so easy for Lewis Hamilton. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, but I want him pushed. I don't want him winning the title like Mexico, Austin. I want him pushed. I want him pushed like 2008. Last race, last lap. Of course, I want him to win the titles, but I want him pushed also. And it's too easy for him at the minute. Too easy. And I believe they can get someone better in at Mercedes. But let me know your thoughts. This was a different video. All 20 drivers covered who I think is going to be champion or not champion. And we've got some special years ahead with a young blood in Formula 1. The likes of Russell, Ocon, Sainz, Leclerc, Max, Albon, Norris. It's fantastic. The sport is in a good place with these youngsters coming through. Young, hungry, ambitious drivers. Max will win the most championships out of all them. Obviously, out of the young guns, in my opinion, Lewis just best of his era. Vettel, 4-time champion, will retire. Raikkonen's had his best days, will retire soon. But just a different video. Thanks for watching. Do you agree, disagree? Comment down below. We'll always reply. Adios. Fucking hell. Is my video gonna stop?